So this morning I planned a video with Claude, build a full Roblox game using nothing but AI prompts. 3 moments changed what this video became. First, the idea, a tower defense where you don't just defend, you send waves at your opponent. And that gap hasn't been filled on Roblox. Second, the important one, I asked if we could go from idea to finish game in 12 prompts. It said no, flat no, and told me why before I wasted a weekend finding out. Third, I got greedy. I play in a squad of 3, so I wanted 3 versus 3 and completely confused the poor thing in the process. We got there, and this is what we ended up with. A 16-phase build script for a 3-mode game. Let's see if the AI can actually build it. Guys, if you like what you see on our Vibe Coding Tuesdays, please like this video. If you have any ideas of other things you would like me to vibe/build, or any questions about this build, just comment below and I will get back to you. Phase 1. The foundation, 1 lane, a path and a tower I can place. Simple stuff. Or so I thought. Because the first thing the AI did was talk. A lot. It planned, it described, it thought out loud about tiles and rows and edge cases. And it built absolutely nothing. Just paragraph after paragraph of what it was going to do. So I had to be blunt with it. Stop planning. Execute now. Build the actual parts into the world. Don't describe them, make them. And that did the trick. Watch this. The spawn point drops in. The path winds its way across to the base. Tower tiles either side. And there's our first tower sitting on the lane. Nothing moves yet. Nothing shoots. And that's exactly right for phase 1. This is just the skeleton. The enemies come next. 1 down, 15 to go. Phase 2. Time to bring this thing to life. The lane's built. Now it needs enemies walking down it. 1 prompt. Spawn a wave of enemies. Send them marching from the spawn point all the way to the base and make the base lose health every time one gets through. And this time it just did it. No fighting, no planning loop, no talking it round. Watch them go. 10 enemies, one after another, following the path round every bend to the base. The thing I'm actually watching here isn't the enemies, it's the corners. If the AI got the waypoints wrong, they'd cut straight across the grass. But they don't, they hug the path the whole way. That means phase 1 was built properly underneath. And up in the corner, the base health ticks down with everyone that gets through. 100, down it goes. The towers still aren't shooting. So right now the enemies win every time. That's the next job. 2 down, 14 to go. Guys, you may not realise this, but only about 20% of you are subscribed to my channel, and even less of you have that notifications bell on. It only takes a second, so please hit subscribe and the bell. Phase 3. This is where it stops being a walking simulator and becomes a real game. Towers that shoot, enemies that die, and money to spend. The towers were easy. It nailed the shooting almost straight away. Place a tower, it finds the nearest enemy, fires, done. Finally a fair fight. And then it hit the cash system. And I'm going to be straight with you, because I think that's the whole point of a video like this. This one took over an hour. It wrote the code, stopped, didn't like it, rewrote it, over and over. The restarts came faster each time, getting closer and closer, but it kept circling. By the end, it had filled its own context window, and we had to consolidate the chat down and let it pick up clean before it finally cracked it. And here's the thing, it did crack it. Cash starts at 200, ticks up over time, drops when I place a tower, and blocks me if I can't afford it. Exactly right. So no, this isn't 12 magic prompts and a finished game. It's real. It wrestles, it stalls. Sometimes it needs a reset, but it gets there. And I'd rather show you that than fake it. 3 down, 13 to go. Phase 4. Upgrades and a second tower type. After the hour-long battle of Phase 3, I'll be honest, I thought this one would fly by. And early on, it really looked like it would. I tested it pretty quickly, and the new sniper tower was already working. Long range, slow, hits hard. I clicked a tower, the upgrade panel popped up, and I could level it up right there. Brilliant. Job done, surely. Not quite, because even though it was working on screen, the agent wasn't happy with its own code, and it kept going. Another pass, then another. tidying, refining, ironing out the bits I couldn't even see. And that's a pattern I'm starting to notice. Working and finished aren't the same thing to this thing. It'll keep iterating past the point where it looks done until the code underneath is actually clean. But we got there. 2 tower types, working upgrades, and a sniper picking enemies off from the back of the lane. 4 down, 12 to go. Phase 5, and before we even start, the agent's got opinions. It starts offering me game ideas, suggestions, features it thinks we should add. And honestly, some of them weren't bad, but I had a plan, 16 phases, and I wasn't about to get dragged off it. So I kept it in its box and told it to stick to the script. Maybe those ideas are a video for another day. Right, phase 5 itself, 5 enemy types. A heavy armoured one, a fast one, a flyer, a sneaky hidden one, and a big boss. Each one different, each one a problem the towers will have to deal with later. Now this phase threw me a curveball. Partway through, the agent just errored out. Server error, dead stop. For a second I thought I'd lost the lot. But I hit continue, and it picked right back up where it left off like nothing happened. So I went to test it, and we got stuck. Wave 2, dead in the water, wouldn't progress. So back it goes to the agent for another run to sort it out. And that's the rhythm of this whole build, really. Check it, find what's broken, send it back round. I also snuck in one extra of my own, a skip wave feature, so I don't have to sit waiting for a wave to finish when I'm testing. Small thing, but it's going to save me a load of time across the rest of this build. And we got there. 5 distinct enemy types spawning in mixed waves, all walking the lane, all the way through. Plus a skip button to move things along. Counters come next, 5 down, 11 to go. Phase 6, the counter system, making certain towers strong against certain enemies. This is the bit that turns it from shoot everything into actual strategy, and the agent reckoned it was done. Placement, upgrades, wave progression, all working, all ticked off. Confident, job finished. Except it wasn't. Because when I tested it, the towers had stopped firing. Completely. Nothing shooting at all. So all that counter logic it just built. Pointless if the towers won't even take a shot. So the agent goes back through its own changes, hunting for what it broke, and it finds it a syntax error. One line 171, one small mistake buried in the code that stopped the whole thing dead. And here's what got me. It found that in seconds. Sat there and thought, how long would that have taken me? Scrolling through hundreds of lines, hunting one bad character. 20 minutes, half an hour, more? That right there is the bit that actually sells this whole thing for me. Anyway, fixed. Towers firing again, counters working. Certain towers now tearing through the enemies they're meant to. You can see it in the damage numbers. 6 down, 10 to go. Phase 7. But first, why the wait? If you've been building with Roblox's AI and suddenly hit a wall, that's the daily limit. And it is a daily limit. Roughly a 24-hour reset. I hit mine part way through, and there was nothing to do but down tools and come back the next day. So that's where we are, fresh day, fresh allowance, and a fresh chat too, because by this point the old conversation was bloated, so much context built up that it was slowing everything down. So I started a clean one, and the first thing it did was sit and familiarise itself with the game, reading through what we'd already built before it touched anything new, which actually worked really well. In fact, note to self for next time, I'm starting to wonder if a fresh chat for every single phase might be the smarter way to do this. Less baggage, faster responses, the agent coming in clean each time. Something to test on the next build. Right, phase 7 itself. The big one. The twist that makes this whole game mine. Sending enemies. Instead of just defending, I can now spend my cash to fire a wave straight into my opponent's lane. Attack, not just defend. And this is server side, which matters. The game has to check I can actually afford it before it spawns anything, and it can't just trust my computer, to be honest. That's the kind of thing that's easy to get wrong, so I'm watching it closely. We'll see how it held up. But the core idea of lane clash is finally in. 7 down, 9 to go. Phase 8. And if you're watching this one waiting for something dramatic to happen on screen, you'll be waiting a while. Because this is the phase where almost nothing visible changes at all. This is pure back-end work. Under the hood, it's moving all the game's important information, the cache, the health, who owns which lane, onto the server, where players can't tamper with it. Essential stuff. The foundation everything else sits on, but to look at, identical to before. And that's actually the point. When you're refactoring like this, success looks like nothing happening. The game plays exactly the same, nothing breaks, no values flicker. If it still works and looks unchanged, it worked. So we gave it a good double check, made sure it was genuinely done and nothing had quietly broken, and moved straight on. 8 down, 8 to go, halfway. Phase 9. Win and lose conditions, a match timer, and the comeback mechanic. The stuff that turns this from a sandbox into an actual match you can win or lose. But the agent did not want to get going on this one. It sat there thinking, planning, considering, weighing it all up, but not actually building anything. So I had to kick its arse a bit, stop deliberating, start writing code. And when it did get moving, it convinced itself it needed to rebuild half of what we'd already done. Big sweeping changes, tearing into working systems, which is exactly what I didn't want. I've got 8 solid phases behind me. I'm not having it break those chasing this one. The conversation got long again, so we compacted it down to keep things moving. And then, credit where it's due, it settled. It investigated properly, worked out what actually needed changing versus what it just thought needed changing, and got the job done without wrecking everything around it. So we've got it. Win conditions, a timer counting down, and that comeback mechanic where leaks earn you cash back. The match is real now. 9 down, 7 to go. Phase 10. Polishing the interface, a proper HUD, cache, health, the timer, the send buttons all looking the part. Sounds simple. It wasn't. This one was a slog. Same problem as last time. The agent wanting to sit and think instead of getting on and building. I'm having to push it again and again just to get it moving. And then Roblox itself started creaking. A couple of internal server errors, not my code, their end. The agent just falling over mid-task. And I think I can see why. It's the multi-edits. When it's trying to change a load of files all at once, that's where it strains, that's where it stumbles. But it kept going. Generated the new scripts, ran all the auto-edits, and got there in the end. It's just, this one made me work for it, and it was worth it. The HUD's clean now, everything on screen where it should be, the send button's sitting there ready. It actually looks like a game you'd want to play. 10 down, 6 to go. Phase 11. But before the new stuff, one thing to clean up from Phase 10. The armoured enemy, when I sent it, it wouldn't stay on the track. Wandering off across the grass, doing its own thing. So first job, sort that out. And the fix turned up something else. The ground troops could jump, which they absolutely shouldn't. So I stripped the jump out of all of them. Ground enemies stay grounded now, on the path where they belong. Armoured wandering, fixed. Then on to the actual phase, cosmetics, skins. I got it building a skin manager and the client scripts to go with it, so towers and lanes can have different looks. Now I'll be straight with you about where this is at. Right now, these skins are just colour changes, nothing fancy. But that's fine, because this is a game in development. I'm proving a concept here, not shipping a finished store. Get the system working first, make it pretty later. And the system works. Skins apply, they're purely cosmetic, no pay to win, exactly the foundation I wanted. 11 down, 5 to go. Phase 12, the self-test. This is where the agent plays its own game, hunts the bugs, and we find out if the core actually holds together. And there was plenty to find. First up, the skip wave button, the one I added back in Phase 5. Turns out it was killing every enemy on the board, both lanes regardless. Handy, but not exactly fair. Then some of the sent enemies were just failing to appear. And underneath it all, some of the back-end server scripts weren't firing at all. So the agent got to work, and I liked how it went about it. It added a debug script to watch the console properly, and a start match script to hunt down an initialization problem. Methodical, actually diagnosing, not just guessing. Then another Roblox wall. The agent stops dead at 100 actions and makes you manually press continue to carry on. So I'm sat there nursing it through, hitting continue every 100 steps. But then, for the first time in this entire build, I saw it. The victory sign. Up on the screen after 12 phases, an actual win condition actually triggering. That's the moment it became a real game, and I finished the job properly, tested the loss condition too, and watched how the bases take damage when enemies break through. Win works, loss works, the core is done. 12 down, 4 to go. Phase 13. And just to say, phase 12 before this was a long one. All that testing, all that bug hunting, the agent playing through again and again. It took a while, so I came into 13 hoping for something a bit smoother. Phase 13 is teams, the shared base, where 2 or 3 players defend their own lanes but share one health pool. This is the bit that makes 2 versus 2 and 3 versus 3 possible. And it started well. The agent laid out a solid plan, exactly how it'd handle the shared health, how it'd stop the lanes clashing with each other. Good thinking. But then, same as ever, it sat on that plan a touch too long. A little nudge to get it building, and it was away. And then stopped again. The second 24-hour usage limit of this build. I've hit the wall a second time. Tools down, nothing to do but wait it out and come back tomorrow. So phase 13's underway. The plan's done, the build started, but we don't get to finish it today. Roblox has decided that's enough for now. 13 in progress. We'll pick it up tomorrow. The mode menu and the matchmaking behind it. And what a difference a day makes. Yesterday the agent fought me on everything. Today it had a quick look at what needed doing. And then, when I told it to build, it actually built. No wrestling, no wandering off to investigate. I asked, it delivered. It wired up the matchmaking, pick your mode, and it puts the right number of players on each team, 1 each side for 1v1, right up to 3 a side for 3v3, everyone in their own lane. Exactly what I asked for, first time. Funny how some days it just clicks. Now connect it all end to end. Picking a mode in Lane Clash mode menu starts a match with the correct team sizes, real players placed in their lanes, and Lane Clash AI player filling any empty slots. Confirm a 1v1, a 2v2, and a 3v3 each start correctly with the right number of lanes and players. Build and verify now, code only, no planning. Next piece of phase 14, the AI players. Because here's the problem. I want to test 2v2 and 3v3, but I haven't got 6 people sat here ready to play. So the empty seats need filling. So I got it to build bot players. Nothing clever. They place a tower every so often, fire off the odd wave at a random opponent, just enough to act like a body in a lane, enough to fill the gaps so I can actually test all 3 modes on my own. And it built them clean. No fuss this time. The seats are filled. Now every mode's got enough players to run, whether real people turn up or not. 1 more piece to slot in, and 14's done. The mode menu, pick your match, 1v1, 2v2 or 3v3. Should have been simple. It was a nightmare. The moment I set it going, internal server errors. Roblox's end, not mine. The agent just falling over again and again, couldn't get a clean run at it at all. So I stopped and had a thought, what if the problem isn't 14? What if 13 never actually finished? So I went back and checked and I was right. Those earlier crashes had left 13 half built. Looking done but full of holes. I've been trying to build on broken ground the whole time. So back into 13 and this time 1 instruction at a time. Connect this. Now route that. Now build the lanes. Dragging it through fix by fix. Refusing to let it wander off and investigate. Slow but solid. 13 properly done. And that handed me the lesson for 14. Stop throwing the whole thing at it in one go. That's what kept breaking it. So I chopped it up, menu first, then matchmaking, then the bot players to fill the empty seats, then wire it all together, And what a difference. Each piece on its own, the agent just handled it. Clean. No crashes, no fighting. Turns out the trick wasn't a better prompt, it was a smaller one. 14 down, 2 to go. Phase 15. And this is the one that makes the team modes actually work as a team game. Because up to now, if I sent a wave, it just went somewhere. In 2v2 and 3v3, that's not good enough. I need to choose my target. So this phase adds exactly that, a selector. Now when I send a wave, I pick which enemy lane it goes into. Gang up on the weakest player, pile pressure on whoever's struggling. That's real strategy, that's the squad mind game I wanted. It also wires the winning and losing properly to the shared team pool across all 3 modes, and lets me spectate a teammate's lane once the heat's off mine. Now it didn't just roll over and build it, same old dance. It wanted to think it through first, and I had to give it a few kicks to actually start writing the code. But once it got going, it got there, and it works. I can target my sends, pick my victim, and the match resolves properly for the whole team. The competitive heart of lane clash is in 15 down, 1 to go. Phase 16. The final test. The agent plays its own game, every mode, top to bottom, hunting for anything still broken, and it ran them all. 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. Every lane spawning its own enemies now, sent waves landing where they're meant to, the shared health pool draining right, matches starting, ending, and resetting clean. And it came back green. All of it. Working. That's 16 phases. From an empty base plate to a competitive 3-mode tower defense game where you don't just defend, you send waves at each other. Built entirely with Roblox's own AI, and me writing not one single line of code myself. Was it smooth? No. It fought me. It stalled, it crashed, it hit limits. It tried to cut corners, I wouldn't let it cut. But it got there. We got there. 16 down, 0 to go. The build is done. So that's the build done. 16 phases, a working game. But let's be honest, right now it looks like a prototype. Grey blocks, placeholder towers, stand-in enemies. It plays great, but it doesn't look like anything yet. So next week, that's the job. We bring lane clash to life. Those placeholder blocks become real stations, proper towers, with a proper look. And here's the theme I've landed on. The whole game takes place inside a computer. Your towers are the defences, firewalls, antivirus, scanners. The enemies? Viruses, worms, trojans, marching down the data lanes trying to crash your system. And I'm building all of it the same way, with AI. Can it design a whole visual identity from scratch? We're about to find out. So if you want to see these grey blocks turn into a proper cyber battlefield, subscribe and I'll see you next week. Cheers for watching.